In a test conducted off the coast of Southern California, in the Pacific Ocean, the U.S. Air Force has been able to successfully launch the AGM-183, an airborne rapid reaction system. The hypersonic air-to-ground missile is truly fascinating, and the variant tested was completely functional. But why is this significant, provided we see the development of hundreds of new missiles every year? AGM-183 ARRW is a prospective Lockheed Martin missile based on the hypersonic glider idea. It is thought to be the weapon President Donald Trump referred to as the super-duper missile during a press conference on May 15, 2020. In the test launch, the missile interestingly outpaced the speed of sound, and that too by a multiple of 5. The test, according to estimations, was a complete success, and after it, the weapon self-destructed. Possible platforms for the weapon are bombers B-1B, B-52, the latest B-21, and the F-15E multi-role fighter. At the same time, each B-1B bomber can theoretically carry up to 31 AGM-183 ARRW units in internal weapons bays and on external pylons. But before we move into more complex details of the AGM-183 hypersonic missile, let's first see what it actually represents. Or maybe better to say, what is a hypersonic weapon? It is frequently stated that any missile traveling at speeds above Mach 5 is hypersonic. But if we take this approach, then the ballistic missile warheads, which could reach speeds of 3.7 to 4.3 miles per second, or Mach 17 to 20, in the late 1950s, would also fall under the category. They are not, however, classified as hypersonic weapons. Why is this? Well, a key characteristic to be called hypersonic is the capacity to maneuver. Most of the warheads go along a strict and totally predictable trajectory, but this makes them for missile defense systems an easy target. A missile defense system does not pursue a warhead in the same way as an air defense system chases an airplane or a cruise missile. Rather, the interceptor is launched into a computer-calculated spot where it will collide with and destroy the warhead. But this requires, first and foremost, a speed substantially greater than supersonic, and second, the ability to handle massive overloads of more than 30 G that occur when navigating at such high speeds. Thus far, this is a technically impossible undertaking, which distinguishes hypersonic weapons of today as virtually indestructible. There is just no way to stop them. While this is pretty alarming and dangerous, it is at the same time the main reason why the development of hypersonic weapons is thought to be the top priority in the military. Today, several countries are developing hypersonic weapons, the means of countering which do not yet exist. The United States, Russia, and China, the 3 most powerful militaries in the world, are giving their all to develop only the best hypersonic weapons. And guess what? They are pretty successful thus far. The United States is currently working on various hypersonic weapon systems, one of which is the Long Range Hypersonic Weapon Program, abbreviated as LRWH, which entails the development of a hypersonic airframe being developed by Lockheed Martin. Another program is the Hypersonic Attack Cruise Missile, or HACM, being developed by Raytheon Technology. The program's specifics have not yet been revealed, although it is most likely envisioned as a missile to be launched from an airplane. But this is not all, for there are numerous other hypersonic programs in the United States as well that are not ready just yet. In the meantime, China also has plans to develop hypersonic weapons, the most noteworthy of which is the DF-17. It is understood that this is a gliding munition that will be propelled by a solid propellant missile. Much less known about the Chinese hypersonic missiles, however, the Americans estimate their range to be between 1,000 and 1,500 miles. And last but not least, we have Russia, which is also working on 3 hypersonic weapons projects. Among them are the Avangard Strategic Targeting Munition, launched by an intercontinental ballistic missile, the Zircon sea-based missile, and the Kinzal air-based missile. Russia proclaimed that all 3 complexes ready for use, and the Kinzal have even been used twice in battle in Ukraine. However, coming back to the AGM-183 ARRW, the missile that traveled 1,600 kilometers at a speed of Mach 5, we can see some similarities. The AGM-183 is conceptually similar to the Russian Kinzal, which is likewise airborne. Nonetheless, the Kinzal is launched from a fighter interceptor MiG-31, which holds the proud title of being the fastest production aircraft. It travels at Mach 2.5, or 1,900 miles per hour, and quickly increases the speed of its missile by more than 1.5 Mach over the Americans. According to the Congressional Research Service, the Kinzal has a top speed of Mach 10 and a range of around 2,000 kilometers. As we can see from the facts that we have, the Americans have not yet surpassed the finest Russian designs in terms of range and, more significantly, speed. In addition to their practicality and vulnerability, hypersonic weapons have another advantage over subsonic and supersonic weapons. Despite only having a conventional charge, the Soviet Kinzal destroyed a former nuclear storage facility. But how did it accomplish this? Everything comes down to physical laws. The kinetic energy of the body, or the energy it has as a result of its speed, is related to the product of mass by the square of the speed. Consider the American Tomahawk missile. The warhead weighs 1,000 pounds like the Kinzal, but it can accelerate to Mach 0.75, which is 13 times less than the Kinzal. As a result, the kinetic energy of the Tomahawk's warhead will be 169 times less than that of the Kinzal, rather than 13 times. Furthermore, unlike a regular explosion, the energy is not scattered in all directions. It is rather mostly oriented in the direction of its travel. It produces a form of a cumulative jet of huge strength, explaining why hypersonic weapons have such enormous destructive power, even without a nuclear warhead. Apparently, this is the last test of the AGM-183 ARRW, and if everything goes according to plan, serial production of the first American hypersonic missiles will begin in 2024. How much potential does the AGM-183 hold for the US Army? Tell us in the comments below. This brings us to the end of this video. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing and sharing so that we can keep bringing more content like this. See you next time.